on Sport Bar TV.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming, basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking.
To say enough.
You can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Hello and welcome to Magic Park for the first week of the finals. Today it's Broadmeadow Magic taking on the Edgeworth Eagles. This is the first leg of their clash. They've met twice this year. Way back earlier in the season at Edgeworth, Magic won 4-1, and here at Magic Park back in round 11, it was Edgeworth who claimed an upset 2-1 win. So it's pretty even going into this match between the two sides this year. So these two legs, both this week and then at Jack McLaughlin next week, are certainly going to be thrillers here on Bar TV. We're going to take a quick break and then I'm going to go through the team sheets. You're watching the NPL live here on Bar TV. So up here, just about to get underway here, Broadmeadow Magic taking on Edgeworth here on Bar TV. I'll just run through the team sheets pretty quickly for Broadmeadow Magic. In goals, Nathan Archbold. Number 3, Josh Piddington. 4, Ben Higgins. 5, Luke Vigili. 8, Matt Hoole. 9, Peter Haynes. So we're underway here. 14, John Griffiths. 16, Callan Lewis. 17, Dino Fadchuvik. Hasn't he had a wonderful year? Cale Bradbury, number 19, the Golden Boot for this season in the NPL, and Mike Finlayson, number 20. On the bench, Jaden Barber, 2, Reece Tippett, 11, 21, Ko Sang-hin, 66, Brad McKenzie. There's still one more, so we'll double-check that for you when the changes are made. And for Edgeworth, as it runs down over the sideline, a throw going the way of the away side. In goals, Jim Fogarty. 3, Aaron McLaughlin. 4, Aiden Bryce. 6, Luke Walker. 7, Brent Hamill. 8, Josh Evans. 9, Brody Taylor. 10, Keanu Moore. 11, Dylan Holes. 12, Brenton Olzema. 17, Dom Bazari, who's come in for Pat Wheeler, who's been suspended for this one on the bench. Bray Smith, number 2. 14, Justin Tannock. 19, Liam Spurway. 16, Lockie Pasquale. And 24, Ben Smith. So you'd have to say today for Edgeworth, that's their strongest side on paper, bar Pat Wheeler being out through that accumulation of yellow cards. So he'll be out for this week's match. Back for the second leg next week. Hopefully that one, we can bring it to you live on Bar TV. We're still double checking with Northern whether which match it will be. But tomorrow it's the WPL, the Women's Premier League Grand Final from 3 p.m. here at Broadmeadow Magic's home ground. Merewether up against Valentine, first v third. Merewether, the minor premiers last year, but let's speak about this one. Dylan Holtz on the ball. Tried to find Brody Taylor. Keanu Moore then on it. Hayden Bryce back to Holtz. Goes short to Keanu Moore, trying to deftly touch it towards Hayden Bryce. Couldn't quite get it there. Brody Taylor now towards Luke Walker. Made his return from injury in the last game here against Broadmeadow. That was the game actually where Jim Fogarty was injured. He's back in goals now, Jim Fogarty, playing his first full game last week. They've the last 7 times they've met, it's been 3 wins for Edgeworth, 3 for Magic, and a 0-0 draw at Jack McLaughlin Oval back in 2013. Back now with Aiden Bryce. Josh Evans now. Over on that far side of the ground, McLaughlin trying to get away down the left side. Grabbed 2 goals this year as Aaron McLaughlin for Edgeworth. One of those was against Broadmeadow Magic. It was the winner. Got them over the line. Cale Bradbury with some space there, but it's cleared away by Aiden Bryce, who moved from defence to attack midway through the season. He looks like he's playing at the back today. Over on the right, Brent Hamill also dropping back, so it'll be interesting to see what their formation does look like as this one runs to Fogarty. Jim Fogarty now looking across to this near side of the ground for Broadmeadow. Brent Hamill stepping inside, going back to Luke Walker. Turned over now, Matt Hoole. Turns it over Dylan Holtz, so a chance now for Edgeworth. Dylan Holtz on the ball, looking for Olzema. Couldn't find him. It was well intercepted in the end by Broadmeadow, and Ben Higgins with the header. Away. Luke Walker now looking for Keanu Moore. So Edgeworth's first trip back to Magic Park after that heartbreaking 2-1 loss to Melbourne City. The dying stages of that one, Aaron Moy with a couple of stunning free kicks. Nathan Archbold going across the ground. Matt Hoole now over on the right for the home side. Callan Lewis trying to go back to him. Dylan Holes back to Bazari. As I said earlier, he's come into the side today for for Pat Wheeler. Back to Biddington now. Blake's going to join me in just a sec. He's on his way down here, so just been caught at something, so he'll be down here ASAP. Edgeworth trying to get it out of their own end now. Dylan Holes controlling it. Squaring it across towards Brent Hamill. That's gone over the sideline. They've had a fantastic run, Edgeworth, since they did lose back in round 3 to Broadmeadow. It was 4-1, that result. Went down at home at Jack McLaughlin. So a stat for both of these sides is they haven't won at each other's home grounds this season. As that one's come up to the commentary box, almost cleaned me up. Gee, Matt Hill with the clearance, had to punch that away. It's one of the interesting moments up here at the commentary box. And free kick going Edgeworth's way. So an early chance for them. Edgeworth finishing the season on 40 points, 13 wins, 1 draw and 4 losses. And Broadmeadow, 10 wins, 2 draws and 6 losses. They started the season wonderfully. Here's the free kick from McLaughlin. Headed away by Vigili. Brent Hamill gets across. Plays it back to McLaughlin. It's looking back for Hamill, but Vigili knocks it up towards Peter Haynes. Had a wonderful performance last time we were here on Bar TV, and he finds Cale Bradbury with a lovely ball. Scott Bazzari in front of him. Cale Bradbury tries to get around him. It was a great tackle from Bazzari. That'll give him plenty of confidence. And he's trying to get himself out of trouble. Josh Evans now. Recently announced a couple more years at the club. And Brodie Taylor down the line. Nathan Archbold will let that one run over the byline, and it will be a goal kick for him. Yeah, so Broadmeadow, 32 points this season. A lot of people didn't expect them to get to the finals after they went through a run. They lost 6 of 8 games through the middle section of the season. They started so brightly. First 7 games, they were undefeated. And then 6 out of 8 they lost. And since then, they've won 3 in a row. So they've actually won 5 of their last 7, Broadmeadow. So they've been in pretty good form of late. Ever since that game against Heidelberg, they've come to life in the NPL. Here's an attempted through ball looking for Bradbury. Runs down to Jim Fogarty in goals. Olzema now with some space in front of him. Matt Hoole and Ben Higgins getting across. Still Olzema on the ball. Back in the starting lineup. He's been out of it for a little bit for Edgeworth. Back to Walker. Now towards Keanu Moore. And it's turned over. Matt Hoole now. Goes to Peter Haynes. He puts one over the top. We know how quick Cale Bradbury is, but Bazzari does well. Knocks it over into the crowd on that far side of the ground. Decent crowd on that far side, actually. One of the biggest I've seen this season, but I'm sure it's going to be bigger tomorrow for the women's grand final and for the grand final of the NPL, which is on the 6th of September here at Magic Park. That'll be the next game that Broadmeadow potentially play here. This will be their last home game if they don't make the grand final. Their last game at Magic Park. Next week we're off to Jack McLaughlin for the second leg. That will be an interesting showdown between these two sides. There's not much between them this year. Throw going the way of Edgeworth now. And a pretty even start to the game. In terms of home and away for both of these sides, Broadmeadow Magic have had not a fantastic record at home. It's been all right, but not up there with the best sides in the competition. They've had 5 wins, 1 draw, but they've had 3 losses at home, which is the highest out of the top 4. 16 points they've accumulated at home this season. Edgeworth, the best side at home. They've won 7 and lost 2. Keanu Moore on the ball. Goes to Walker. Over the top to Olzema. Cleared away. Referee, I think, playing advantage there. Griffiths took down Keanu Moore. Ball across now to Fajkovic. Scored plenty of goals this year for them. 11, in fact. And this one played through to Fogarty. The 24-year-old came to Broadmeadow from Lambton at the end of last season, as did Cale Bradbury. Mike Finlayson coming from the Jets youth, so Plenty of recruits this season. Edgeworth with the free kick. In terms of away matches, Edgeworth are right up the top of the ladder on the away table. They've played 9, 6 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. Of course, all sides do play the 10 home games, but this table's been divided just into the 9, so the Jets youth are included with their home and away games. Down towards the line, Brent Hamill and Piddington going down there, but it's let run over in the end by Piddington, so goal kick. Yes, Edgeworth, 19 points they've accumulated from their away matches, their 9 away matches. Broadmeadow only the 16 as well. So 16 at home, 16 away, Broadmeadow. They've had an identical record. Both venues, or both home and away. Edgeworth have had a just marginally better away, a better home record, I should say. 21 points at home and 19 away. So Broadmeadow now playing it out from the back. It's been a pretty even start as Matt Hoole plays it back to Peter Haynes in the middle of the ground. Squaring it across to Luke Vigili. That last game that was played here, as I said, there was a lot of drama. Jim Fogarty injured. Aaron McLaughlin scoring the winner in the last couple of moments of the game. 2-1 win that one for Edgeworth. Edgeworth could have grabbed 3 that day. Penalty from Brent Hamill was saved by Nathan Archbold in the magic goal. And the under-22s earlier today was a 3-0 win to Edgeworth. So they will go into next week with plenty of confidence. As here is Luke Vigili going across the ground. Playing it to Cale Bradbury, trying to flick it on towards Fajkovic. Finlayson goes to Vigili. Tries to cut inside Brent Hamill, but Hayden Bryce on the ball. Fajkovic now. Looking for Cale Bradbury. Turned it over, and now Keanu Moore. He's got Brenton Olzheimer in the middle, but he runs away from him. Piddington sending him down into the corner. Definitely one of the star players for Edgeworth this year. And Broadmeadow win the throw. I should say the free kick. Broadmeadow win there. Keanu Moore pulling pretty much Luke Vigili to ground. Piddington towards Finlayson up the line. Vigili going over the top. Jim Fogarty should claim it, and he does so. So almost 13 gone here at Magic Park. 0-0 the score. It's Edgeworth up against Broadmeadow Magic, the first semi-final. And we've got a handball, so the free kick goes to Broadmeadow. Now it's going to Edgeworth. I thought it was a handball there from Dylan Hulse, but obviously the referee seen it from Broadmeadow. Hayden Bryce across the ground. Matt Hoole gets up with the head. Down the line now. Bazari goes to McLaughlin. Cross towards Keanu Moore. Ben Higgins clears it away now. Griffiths. Brodie Taylor goes to Ben Higgins, so not too many great opportunities for either of these two sides in the opening moments, but both testing each other out, which is what you expect from two of the top sides. Ball across from McLaughlin, headed away. Matt Hoole. And now Callan Lewis away down the right-hand side for Broadmeadow. Still Callan Lewis. Squares it across to Haynes, who was looking for Dino Fajkovic, but it's been put over the sideline by Bazari and a throw for Broadmeadow. Keanu Moore now with some space down the right-hand side for Edgeworth. Gets into the 18. Well defended in the end by Broadmeadow there. Knocked down the line, but it's only as far as Luke Walker. Going to chip it over the top. Played in the 2010 Grand Final winning side at Luke Walker for Edgeworth. And he injured his knee early on in the season against Tapdo Fury in a trial. And that was a anterior cruciate ligament for Luke Walker. Many expected him not to return for the rest of the season, but he had some revolutionary treatment which allowed him to return against Broadmeadow in round 11 it was. He came back, so just over halfway through the season. Brody Taylor now with some space on this near side. Blake's just about to join us, so he's ready to go. And Nathan Archbold playing it out to How are you, Blake? Just joining me. You've just been out, so come in. You haven't missed anything. Nothing exciting's happened at all.
Yeah, I'm great, mate. Good to be here. It's a really, really hot day. I can imagine how they're feeling out there. I just played my own game and needed to go off after about 20 minutes, so it'll be an interesting afternoon here.
How did you go?
We won 3-2. We're in the minor semi-final after coming third and beat the team coming fourth 3-2. So we go through next week and play the team coming second because they lost today.
Well, good luck next week. You might have to do some more running around if we've got the game at Edgeworth on Saturday. So hopefully we're gonna find out which game we have got next week, because Northern are going to decide that. So we'll find out. I think it's got to do with what the scoreline is today and tomorrow. So whichever's the closest scoreline, we'll get that match next week. And Broadmeadow Magic now with the corner, going towards the back post. Piddington rises off the bar and harmlessly over the goal line, and it'll be a goal kick. So probably the best opportunity so far in the game there for Josh Piddington. First leg of the semi-final series. Tomorrow, Lambton taking on Hamilton at Darling Street. We won't be at that one. It's the WPL Grand Final that we've got tomorrow. Valentine and Merriweather. So over the sideline now, Matt Hill with the throw. And Fadjovic now finds Cale Bradbury with some space, but he's got a very tight angle over there on the right. Plays it back, Callan Lewis now. Brings it back to Matt Hoole. Chips it towards the back post. Finlayson couldn't get above Bren Hamill and he headed it away. Down towards the sideline. Finlayson cutting it back to Griffiths. John Griffiths with some space. Hits a shot. It's blocked by the Edgeworth defence. Dylan Hulse trying to knock it away, but Broadmeadow sustaining some pressure here, causing some headaches for the Edgeworth defence. Interesting to see Olsmer and Keanu Moore starting today. I don't think either of them started last week, did they? No, they didn't. I was saying at the start, Blake, that I think this is Edgeworth's going on. I'm saying Damien Zane picked his strongest side for the FFA Cup match. So the only difference between this side and the side that played in the FFA Cup is Pat Wheeler, who's been suspended. So I think this is Damien Zane's preferred lineup. Justin Tannock played last week, and so did Lockie Pasquale. So he's changed it up a lot this year, but I think this is the lineup that he prefers to go with when he's in a big match, and this is certainly a big clash. Yeah, it's good that you can make those sort of changes when you're going into a match where you need to win it, possibly to win the premiership, that you've got players like Pasquale and Tannock on the bench that you back to win you a premiership, and then you've got players like Keanu Moore and Olsmer to come back into the side, and you back them to win your semi-final. So very, very good things at Edgeworth at the moment. Yeah, they've had a wonderful year this year, Edgeworth, so they've just got to overcome that curse of winning the minor premiership and going on to win the major premiership or the overall premiership. I'll have to do a little bit more research, but I did have a quick scan over it probably the start of the season. I think it's something like 4 out of the last 16 sides that have won the minor premiership have gone on to win the overall premiership. So it's an outstanding achievement if you can do the job in both. Broadmeadow seem to be warming up again, Blake. They had that run in the middle of the season, 6 out of 8 matches that they lost, and since then they've won 3, and if you want to look at it, they've won 5 of 7. So they've they've turned it up recently. We'll just see what Peter Haynes can muster with the free kick. Piddington across towards, and McLaughlin will clear that one away.
Just for anyone that might be joining in, how have you seen the game for the first 20 minutes?
I thought that I really thought that it was pretty even. Magic and Edgeworth just testing each other out in the opening 20 minutes, but probably the best chance a couple of minutes ago, Josh Piddington with the header. Apart from that, I can't really think of another wonderful opportunity that both sides have had. But one thing I did want to double check was the under 22s and under 19s. Are they still playing the same finals format as the first grade?
I would not have a clue. I do think so. I'm pretty sure that Edgy won.
Quite, yeah, 3-0 it was, very convincingly.
I think they won the premiership in the 22s, and I think Magic came fourth, exactly like first grade. So I think they might be doing a home and away league, but I'm not too sure.
Well, here's Cale Bradbury. Yeah, well, it is interesting because, of course, with the sides, the venues are dependent on whoever the home side is. So in the 22s and 19s, it doesn't really matter who makes it. They're going to have to play it either Magic home ground this week. Here's a yellow card coming out for Walker. A little bit of an elbow onto Piddington, I think, there. But yeah, Blake, because those sides, Western, I think, were playing 19s, but because Western haven't got a first grade side in the finals, they have to play at Magic Park. So it's dependent on whoever's in the finals in first grade. That's where you play at. So I'd like to just double check what that final series is. I might just get out the Magic program. I think they might have something. Peter Haynes with the free kick in the meantime. Walker with the header away. I was actually watching yesterday a goal from Peter Haynes that he scored against Hamilton. Come back to that Keanu Moore now. Ben Higgins playing it back, but Archbold will get out.
It was an absolute cracker, wasn't it?
It was one of the best goals I think I've ever seen.
I think it was to the sixth goal for Magic of that game to win 6-5, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was 6-5. The NBN cameraman actually missed it, so because NBN, there was a video on Broadmeadow Magic about Mitch Hughes was running through. Mitch Hughes from a few years ago. You could hear the difference in his voice, but he said spoke about how the cameraman missed it. The cameraman couldn't get the shot that Peter Haynes got off. It was incredible. Here's Matt Hoole down the right. We got an offside. Yeah,
it's very hard for a cameraman to keep up with a shot like that from about, I think it was about 40, 35 out. An amazing volley that just curled away into the right side of the goal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was outstanding. I wouldn't be able to get anywhere near it, I think, if I was on the camera. So a throw now for Matt Hoole. I was just speaking about before the game, Blake, coming into this game, both sides this year, the matches they've played, I think that first game in round 3 that Broadmeadow won 4-1, I think it was pretty close the whole way through. They just ran away with it at the back end. And the other game, 2-1, very, very tight. So you would expect today's game and next week are going to be very tight clashes.
Yeah, hope so. You'd expect two very competitive games. I've only been here for 5 minutes, but as you said, it's been pretty even so far, and already seen Piddington hit the crossbar. So I think over the next 2 weeks is going to be 4 very big games, because I think Hamilton and Lambton will be they'll produce 2 amazing games as well. They've had 2 draws this year. One was 0-0 and one was 1-0. And I remember back in 2013 they were involved in 2 finals games against each other. Both went to penalties, which Lambton won both.
I was just having a quick scan over who was playing what and that sort of stuff. The under 19s match, Western and Edgeworth, they're trying to sort of work it so there's a home leg for Edgeworth. So they're playing at home next week, Edgeworth, in the under 19s against Western. So Western's home game was effectively here at Magic Park today. And in the 3 versus 2, in the 19s, it's Hamilton versus Broadmeadow. So Broadmeadow, of course, not being able to play at home in the 19s because they were 3 versus 2. Hamilton are playing the Emerging Jets and Hamilton are playing Lambton. So Hamilton all get those home games, all 3 grades. And then the week after, Broadmeadow, Magic, Emerging Jets and Lambton all meet at Arthur Eden Oval against Hamilton next Sunday. So they're trying to work it, but outstanding achievement from both Broadmeadow and Hamilton. All 3 grades they've made the finals, and last year both first grade lineups didn't make the finals, and it was a disappointing year.
I think, did you say all of Edgeworth have made the finals as well?
So Edgeworth have made it, yes, and Edgeworth as well. That's incredible. The amount of sides. Here's Ben Higgins just going down, and he's calling out Keanu Moore. It's a couple of times he's fouled some of the Magic defence.
Yeah, and he's already on a yellow card as well. I think he picked up a yellow card for a challenge on Higgins, or maybe Pittington. It might have been.
It was Luke Walker that got the first one. So
okay.
so Keanu Moore is right at the moment.
Ah, yeah, you're not wrong.
And Ben Higgins on the ball. Yeah, so Edgeworth, of all 3 grades, Edgeworth are in the finals. Magic and Hamilton as well. Here's Callan Lewis down the right for Broadmeadow. He cuts it back, and there was no one for Broadmeadow there. And Brenton Olsemer goes back to Aiden Bryce. And now Keanu Moore over on the left again. It's a tough angle for him to cut it back. Olsemer's at the back post. Brody Taylor's also there. Brody Taylor on the ball now. Plays it back to McLaughlin. Pulls it back, and Ben Higgins, as he always does, clears it away for Broadmeadow. He's first year 2004 for Broadmeadow. He's won 4 grand finals as Ben Higgins, and 27 years of age, and played his juniors at Guitarra South. So come a long way, Ben Higgins, in his time. It's been outstanding. I think it was the last game, Blake, against Edgeworth. The game against Edgeworth in round 11 here. We were going to give him the Man of the Match award that day. It was just Edgeworth got a winner in the final moments.
Yeah, he was amazing that day, wasn't he? Very, very good performance, and he's had another very good year.
Here's Brent Hamill now down the right-hand side. He's got Olsemer on the inside. Can Olsemer get there first? The Madgewell, there's got to be a penalty there, and is. Archbold takes him down. Is it going to be a card? It is. Brent Hamill's hands go to his head, and it's deja vu at Magic Park in the first semi-final, just down a different end.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and back Archie. I reckon he's going to save this one. Or Olsemer, I reckon he'll go bottom right. That's where he scored his penalty here against...
It's Hamill. Brent Hamill.
Oh, it's Hamill, sorry. Brent Hamill, sorry, we took the penalty. I've got to get them 2 mixed up. Olsemer won it. Hamill went bottom right, I'm pretty sure, against Melbourne City, and I reckon Archie will save this one.
And yes, he did go bottom right against Melbourne City, and also went bottom right against Archbold in round 11. So, and that was down the other end. And he scored a penalty last week for Edgeworth in the final moments to get the victory 3-1. Here is Brent Hamill taking on Archbold here. Round 2, he puts it in. He wins the battle this time, Brent Hamill. And Edgeworth go ahead. And I think Olsemer probably would have put that one away anyway, so I think it's a fair result in the end that the ball does find its way into the back of the net. But Magic fans didn't seem happy when Olsen went through. I think they were calling for offside. I don't know what you thought, Blake, but just write that down for your report, and we'll...
Yeah, I backed him there, didn't I? And Hamill's gone the other way, the bottom left, to what I thought he was going to go, and a very well-hit penalty. We were sort of in line with it. I think it was a 50-50 call. Edgeworth will think it was onside, and Magic will think it wasn't. It'll be interesting to have a look.
Was it a red card or was it a yellow card for Archbold?
Definitely not a red card. He's taken a touch away from goal. It's very clumsy, but you can't call that a clear goal-scoring opportunity, I don't think. The player coming back as well, running towards the goal.
And I think it's a good decision as well, because the last thing you want to see is a red card and the side go down to 10 men for the amount of time that we've still got left here this afternoon. So we've had some interesting moments, but it's Edgeworth with the lead. Brent Hamill won. Nathan Archbold won this season in terms of penalties. One saved by Archbold back in round 11, as I said before, and that one put away. So he's put 2 penalties in towards the bottom right corner. His first 2 this season, Brent Hamill, and then his last 2 have been to the bottom left. So maybe he's going for a little pattern there. The number 7 for Edgeworth. As he was our man of the match last week, he's been outstanding for them this year. Jim Fogarty gets up, takes it nicely. Fadcevic on the ball, cleared away by McLaughlin towards Luke Virgili now. So I've just come across the rules for these fixtures, so I think it'll be interesting for viewers to just find these out over what happens with away goals and that sort of stuff over these two legs. Of course, the first year that the two legs have come into play. Piddington's ball across. Keanu Moore down this near side. Virgili makes a good tackle and it's put down the line. Throw for Edgeworth now. Hamill goes back to Aiden Bryce, but so no extra time will be played in the lower grades. The winner will be decided on penalties. So in the first grade, if it is level, in a sense. So the highest aggregate of goals scored over the two legs is the winner. And then it's the highest number of away goals. The away goals rule over the two legs. So that's how it's decided. If it is level, there will be extra time next week. So it'll be extra 2 equal periods of 15 minutes will be played. But that will only be for first grade. And if it's still level, then we will go into extra time. Ball over the top, I should say. Here's great save from not extra time. We'll go into penalties. I've always thought it's an interesting format, Blake, because the side that is away, I think, in a sense, in that extra time, has 30 extra minutes to score an away goal than the home side. So I think, in a sense, it's sometimes in extra time. I don't know if they've brought the rule in, but I think in extra time, maybe the away goal rule is removed. So you go into extra time level, and I think then you've actually got to get an aggregate number of goals lead to win the tie.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Saying that the 30 extra minutes to score an away goal. Actually, I think what I was about to say doesn't make sense, because I was going to say the team who comes first earned the right to have that, but next week it will be at Edgeworth, so the away goal means that the team that come forward, Broadmeadow, have 30 extra minutes to score an away goal. So yeah, it's a little bit bizarre, isn't it? There's
pros and cons for each format, because it's happened in the Champions League, actually. I was speaking to a mate. Chelsea were playing PSG. I think a lot of people will remember that tie in the Champions League this season, Chelsea and PSG, and they went into extra time level. PSG won the tie because they scored a goal in extra time. I was trying to remember who. I think it was that was at Stamford Bridge, so Chelsea's home ground, and PSG had 30 extra minutes to score an away goal. So if Chelsea did level it, then it would be PSG who'd go through, because they'd scored more away goals. Here's a cross coming in. Broadmeadow looking for the equaliser. So there's probably pros and cons for each side, but it's an interesting one in the rules. Brent Hamill now, I should say, Ultima trying to control, and now looking for Keanu Moore.
Yeah, also something else on that. I was talking to Dave Tancheski during the week, Lanton Jaff's coach, and he said something he said to me. I was a little bit interested in. There's not really a home or away advantage in this competition. Like he didn't go into it, but when you think of it, all the sides are so close to each other. Broadmeadow and Edgeworth are only a 20-minute drive away, so it's not as though it's hard for Edgeworth's fans to get here, and it's not as though it's hard next week for Broadmeadow's fans to get here. It's here or there really. I don't think they've played here all season, but it's grass, isn't it?
You're exactly right.
I don't know if there's much of a home and away advantage. It's not a 50,000 seat stadium with 45,000 fans. A Magic's, and next week they're at Edgeworth. It's not really a home or away advantage.
Not one of Ben Higgins' best moments there, and runs over the sideline. 35 gone in this one, so 10 minutes before half time, and it's Edgeworth still with a 1-0 lead. Brent Hammer with the penalty. Put it in, and now across the ground now. It's with Fajkovic swerving in and out and playing it across to Cale Bradbury. He's got time here. Bradbury steps it back onto his right. Goes down. Referee had the whistle to the mouth. And he said, no, it's only a Magic throw.
Yeah, brilliant play there by Matt Hill, just back on halfway, cut inside, and then played that through ball to Fajkovic, and a good ball from Dino Fajkovic to find Bradbury. And definitely calls for a penalty there. He went down.
Here's Hool playing a 1-2 with Fajkovic. Hool getting in again. He plays it across through Fogarty's legs, and Cale Bradbury scores for Broadmeadow. Well, Jim Fogarty will not want to see that one ever again. It's a gift for Broadmeadow. And it's all level at Magic Park, and we expected this, Blake. This is going to be one hell of a showdown. 1v4. And poor old Jim Fogarty. It's one of those moments that he'll want to forget very, very quickly. But it happens to all goalkeepers. It happened to Nathan Archbold earlier in the season as well against Hamilton. Simon Mooney free kick that found its way in was confused and bemused everyone.
Yeah, it happened to Archie twice that day. Matt Swan, I think it was Matt or Matt Swan, had a shot straight at him, and he sort of went down and it went over him. I'm sure he won't mind me saying that he had a bit of a shocker that day, Archie. But yeah, it happens to all keepers. It's unfortunate, but you got to wonder maybe if the defence were a bit more desperate there and stop that 1-2 or stop the shot. Even if someone was following it in on Cale Bradbury, that goal could have been avoided.
Alan Lewis now squaring it across, and Josh Evans did wonderfully well to get rid of it. And ultimately, you just got to feel for Jim Fogarty there. It was just Magic. Magic have turned it up, though. I think they've really probably deserved a goal the last few moments. Since Edgeworth have scored, they haven't pressed and they haven't attacked as much. So Magic have caused some problems. Cale Bradbury a moment ago, stepping onto his right, just couldn't get the shot away. It's Olzema now, squaring it across to Keanu Moore. Here come Edgeworth again, back into the game. Tries to get it across, but John Griffiths did very, very well. Peter Haynes looking for Callan Lewis.
Yeah, and just what we were talking about before with the home and away legs, I'm sure the viewers are a bit sick of us talking about it, but it did used to be home and away. I'm sure it was maybe 2012 or 2011 that it ended, but when it was the NBN State League, they did used to do a home and away leg back then.
So they must have thought it was a better idea to bring it back with the NPL this year. Ball down the line, Olzema's after it, Piddington getting across. Still Olzema on the ball. Back to Walker, he's got Holtz with some space around him. Griffiths after Walker. Now Aiden Bryce trying to play it back, but Piddington just clears it long. Fajkovic and Bazari, the 2 17s. Well, there was a definite dive there from Fajkovic, but Bazari was all over him a moment just before. Fajkovic didn't have to dive, I don't think, to win that free kick. Did you think he went down actually after Bazari stopped holding him there?
He did go down very easy, but once your momentum goes, he would have seen the linesman's flag didn't go up straight away.
It was definitely a free kick there, but Fajkovic made it look a little bit more interesting. Peter Haynes standing over it for Broadmeadow. Hoops in towards the near post. Fajkovic with a shot, and it goes to Jim Fogarty. I think the Edgeworth fans over on that far side of the ground. Fogarty across the ground. Of course, Peter Haynes' wife gave birth to a baby midweek, so he'll be hopefully he's had a bit of sleep over the last few days, Blake.
That's amazing. Congrats to Peter. I'm sure love to top that off with today.
And another person we need to say congratulations to is Darren Sills, the assistant coach at Western. He's just been announced as Valentine's new head coach for 2016. 2016, I'm living in the past. Darren Sills. So, and Steve Piggott going to Maitland as well.
Yeah, that's awesome for Valentine. They'll be in for a very fun year. He's obviously a bit of a character, as we know, from post-match interviews and coming to join the commentary team during games and bagging out Michael Bridges. So, yeah, that's a very good pick-up for Valentine and Maitland as well, getting in Steve Piggott, one of the most successful coaches that's been around here in the past few years.
Well, the only way's up for Darren Sills. He had 1 year at West Wallsend at the Bluebells. They didn't have a great year, so he's probably learned a lot under Trevor Morrison, of course, last year. Here's a ball through. Fogarty comes out and does well. Just grabs it from Cal Bradbury. We see the assistant last year under Steve Piggott, Darren Sills.
Yes,
so
he was.
He would have learned a lot over the last few years. Trevor Morris staying on at Western, as we said. I'm thinking Mick Bulch and Dave Tancheski will be staying as well. Rob Vigili and Bobby Namov. Damien Zane as well. Looking forward to seeing how Edgeworth go next year. Cal Bradbury just going behind him.
Yeah, he probably didn't expect that. That was an absolutely brilliant ball from coming in from the right from Cal Lewis. Right on the spot. Nice early cross, but probably lost it in behind a defender maybe.
He's had a good game so far over on the right, Cal Lewis. Only 20 years of age. Scored a goal last week in the win against Charlestown. Probably got a lot of confidence out of that goal. Ball over the top, and Archibald will grab that one just in front of Brodie Taylor. Three minutes left in the first half here at Magic Park. Semi-final number one, the first leg. Were you going to say something, Blake? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, apart from that little run in behind from Olsmer and Archie giving away the penalty back there, Magic's defence have contained Edgeworth's attackers really well. In saying that, I could jinx them here.
Well, there was some space over. I've seen that twice this year. Here's Keanu Moore. Just couldn't get enough on it. But I did see that over Aaron McLaughlin had so much space around him. It reminded me of that goal he scored to win the game. There was no one out on the far or left-hand side for Edgeworth. They were running from left to right of camera as they are here in the first half. Peter Haynes diving in, showing Keanu Moore who's boss there.
Yeah, you used to seeing Keanu Moore and Brodie Taylor getting in behind with their pace, but I think Magic's defenders, Pennington and Higgins in particular, have done a really good job on those two.
They've got a pacey backline, Broadmeadow. That's one thing. And we saw they've leaked goals at times this year, Broadmeadow, but actually now that I look at that, I've just noticed in the ladder the top three sides have all conceded 22 goals this year. How's that for a statistic? Edgeworth, Lambton and Hamilton have all conceded 22 this year. Magic 26. And we've spoken countless times, Blake, during Magic games. Dylan Holtz over on the left. Oh, Dylan Holtz of H's man shoots. Archibald, great save. And Vigili puts it over for a corner kick. Yeah, we were saying, what was I saying? I've got to remember what I was speaking about. Coming across for a corner. Yes, Broadmeadow Magic's defence, how they've leaked goals and they've struggled at times this year. But I think that if the more they play together and the more they've been together this year, they've improved as they've gone. So their defence is probably at its best at the moment. Here's the corner swung in. Luke Walker on the head, but it goes over the top and goal kick for Nathan Archibald.
I only got here around the 15-minute mark, but the half an hour that I've seen, it's been pretty entertaining. I know some weeks in my little notepad I only get about one sheet done, but already at half-time in half an hour of me being here, I've got a whole sheet filled out with match facts, some good shots. Pennington with a header off the corner that hit the crossbar. Obviously the goal from the penalty, then Matt Hull's 1-2 and his shot where Cal Bradbury tapped into an empty net, and then Dylan Holmes' shot just then, which was brilliantly saved by Archibald. So it's been a very attacking, entertaining first half here at Magic Park.
Don Bazzari now with the free kick for Edgeworth. Aiden Bryce goes down. And Luke Walker trying to keep it in. It's going to just be a goal kick. Matt Hoole going down the line towards Callan Lewis now. Josh Evans just gets there in time. Plays it up the line, but it only goes as far as Matt Hoole. And that is half time, so it's all locked up at one apiece. Edgeworth and Broadmeadow here this afternoon. The first leg of semi-final number one. Team 1 on the ladder taking on Team 4. It's Edgeworth who finished atop of the ladder, and Broadmeadow Magic who finished in 4th place. So we're going to have a quick break here at halftime. We'll be back for the second half action in probably about 10 minutes' time. So join us back here then on Bar TV. But for the moment, we'll take a break. It's Edgeworth and Broadmeadow locked at 1-1.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Welcome back to the second half. Broadmeadow Magic are out here on the ground. We're just waiting for Edgeworth. Here they come now. Luke Walker leading them back onto the ground. Just coming out from below us. Damien Zane and assistant coach heading out now. Dylan Holes and Brent Hamill about to make their way onto the ground. So it's 1-1, couple of goals in the first half. First one to Brent Hamill. It was a penalty after Brenton Olsema was clipped by Nathan Archbold in the box, and he finished it into the bottom left corner. And the second goal, which went the way of Broadmeadow, was a goal to Cale Bradbury after Jim Fogarty and went straight through his legs, nutmegged him after he couldn't get a clean grasp on it. And Cale Bradbury put it into an open net. Is there a change being made here for Edgeworth? Doesn't look... Well, Bray Smith's just doing up his shoelace on the sideline, the number 2. Might have an injury here.
I don't
hasn't
think
come back out?
Don Bazzari, the centre-back, hasn't come back out, I don't think.
So, yep, it is Bray Smith that's coming on. Cameron Hughes was one that was touted to come back in for Pat Wheeler, but of course he's left the club, which was in the paper midweek. So second half back underway in the second half, or the second instalment of this match today. Next week we've got the second leg, and all of a sudden Broadmeadow on the attack straight away. Cale Bradbury down the left, but it's come off him and gone over the byline.
Yeah, so it looks like Aiden Bryce is going to play centre back with Josh Evans and Bray Smith will go out to right back.
Do you know much about Bray Smith, where he traditionally plays?
I don't at all. You'd think right back. That's where he's gone on, I guess. But no, I don't even remember him playing any games that we've done of Veggie this year. I'm sure he has, but.
And there's the head of Aiden Bryce. Not probably their preference, Edgeworth. Pat Wheeler was wonderful and has been wonderful over the last few weeks, so a big loss for them today. It's Brent Hamill squaring it back to Josh Evans. Dylan Holes now controlling and looking for Nathan Archbold. Played for Lake Macquarie last year to Nathan Archbold. They were relegated, and of course the year before played for Valentine. I remember you saying a couple of weeks ago, Blake. So had a couple of sides which were relegated, and this year he gets to play finals in the NPL. So I'm thinking it would be one of his first times playing finals in the NPL. So he must be enjoying it out there. The Magic's number 1. What are you expecting of this second half, Blake? Who are you expecting to... we'll stick as Finlayson goes straight through. Of course, that happens now. He plays it square, and they do well.
No, now that didn't go in, I'm going to sit back on the fence. I think it'll be a good second half, I assume. That they've both come out all guns blazing. Edgy have made a defensive substitution at halftime. I'm assuming that was a late call because a couple of the players were a bit confused and were yelling out to Damien Zane about what exactly he wanted. So maybe Bazzari picked up a bit of a knock and couldn't come back out. But so that means that they'll have some attacking options left up their sleeve in Pasquale in the midfield and Justin Tannock. And we know that with Magic they can bring on Reece Tippett if need be to grab a couple of goals. We saw that screamer that he scored here in the FFA Cup that was disallowed, which was very dubious. But my tip was going to be Magic, but I think it's going to be a very even game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Edgeworth run away with it.
Luke Walker on the ball, and now to Keanu Moore. I think something that is important in these home and away leagues, especially since they play so close, and you don't really have that home and away advantage as we discussed in the first half, is trying to get away goals. That is so important to try and grab maybe a couple. If Edgeworth can get a couple, that'll hold them in good stead for next week. Cale Bradbury through. He's not happy. Magic fans aren't happy at all because there was an Edgeworth run, Brenton Olsema, the one that brought the penalty when he went through. Many Magic fans thought he was offside.
Yeah, I thought that was a 50-50, as was Olsema's, but in the end, it doesn't really matter because everyone's a little bit agitated down there in the grandstand, but Bradbury's first touch did go straight to Fogarty, so there wasn't that much of a chance there, unless he saw the flag go up, and that's the reason that his touch was a little bit off. But doesn't matter, the decision's been made, and Magic will look to go on from here with Dino Fajovic running onto a through ball down in the right corner.
Couldn't keep it in there, Fajovic, so throw will go to Edgeworth. So if you wanted to double check that offside, if you're a Magic fan, just scroll back on the Bar TV coverage. Lovely free kick from Peter Haynes going towards the back post. Fogarty has to punch it away. Brodie Taylor has to sweep it clear. Matt Hoole and Keanu Moore coming together there. Whistle was in the referee's mouth, and now Luke Walker getting in, and now it's Dylan Holtz with some space ahead of him. Can he get away from Luke Virgilio, who comes at him, still with Holtz trying to hold him off. Stabs it across to Olzema, and Finlayson clears it away. So they get away from a risky situation there, Broadmeadow. Smith now squares it across, but Ben Higgins does well. Peter Haynes, 11 goals this year, and now finds Cale Bradbury. It goes down, referee. Cale Bradbury blowing up at the referee. Aiden Bryce running away from the situation after he came into the back of Bradbury. I didn't think there was enough there to warrant a free kick, Blake. I know Magic fans are going to totally disagree, but I think Rod Allen made the right decision there. I'm going with him.
It's another one of those 50-50 calls. I know we sit on the fence a lot up here, but if you're a Magic fan, you think that's a definite foul and a sending off. If you're an Edgeworth fan, you think he's done a brilliant job. I guess, I'm not a referee, so I don't know, but I think that's probably the right decision.
Well, here we go. Peter Haynes standing over it. So Broadmeadow with a chance to put themselves in front. We've said over these two legs, I really do not know who is going to win. I don't know who's going to win out of Hamilton or Lambton either. It is so tight in the NPL. I'm just looking forward to next week and September the 6th, the grand final. Here's Peter Haynes, goes into the top of the wall. And Brodie Taylor, Finlayson, just a little bit quicker. And the free kick goes to Broadmeadow. So they're starting to get some free kicks here. Finlayson and Brodie Taylor come together. Not impressed with each other. And he's going to call him over, Rod Allen. No, he's going to call Finlayson. Brodie Taylor going to go over as well. He isn't.
I think, I can't remember what the game was, but we were talking with Peter Haynes playing those through balls over to Cale Bradbury, and we've just seen that again with that runaway that Bradbury had where he thought he was fouled by Aiden Bryce. We'll go back to the free kick.
Well, yeah, it was that game against Western as it's knocked away. Here's Keanu Moore with some space ahead of him. He's got Matt Hoole, steps inside him. He's got Brent Hamill on the left. He plays it across now to Brodie Taylor, who controls it first time really nicely. Matt Hoole comes at him. Now Archbold, he goes down, and it's only going to be a corner for Edgeworth. So really entertaining stuff here, Blake.
Yeah, you're right. It was that game against Western, wasn't it, that Haynes was playing in those brilliant through balls for Bradbury and some for Fajovic. They couldn't capitalise on their opportunities that they could, those pair, and it was Luke Virgilio that ended up scoring the winner. But as you said, we're 7.5 minutes into the second half, and it's you could call it a breathtaking second half. It's been great.
Archbold, another, we got through his hands, and now the header. Great save there from Archbold getting down low. Couldn't punch it the first time, and he did well. But yeah, Broadmeadow putting the pressure on, and then Keanu Moore turning defence into attack for Edgeworth. And still, it's all locked up at 1-1 here at Magic Park this afternoon. Throw down the line, Callan Lewis. Over the top, looking for Cale Bradbury, and he's been called offside again. Edgeworth fans on the far side of the ground are having a great time. And now they're getting into it. Bray Smith getting pulled off it a little bit by Peter Haynes, but the Magic fans quite enjoying that there was no free kick there. So banner definitely between the supporters and the players out there today. Callan Lewis trying to backheel it, and he did really well towards Fajkovic. And now towards Josh Evans. Gee.
That was a good play from Magic. A brilliant ball from Haynes to find Lewis. I think a better first touch would have maybe put him into some space, but he didn't get it. And then his first touch ended up being a little flick in behind, which was decent as well, and put him in a good position. And some good closing down there from Dino Fajkovic to win a throw in. But Edgeworth have seemed to have got themselves out down there as Hamill's on the ball. But Magic have won the throw in. One
thing I wanted to check is Scott Pettit injured currently. He's not in the lineup today, and he wasn't playing in the match against Western a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I read that he missed that game against Western through illness. I'm not sure. I haven't actually asked or found out.
Here's Lewis down on this near side. Cal Lewis getting away. Lovely skill from Cal Lewis. Getting through plenty. It back to Cal Lewis. Still with Cal Lewis. Plays it towards Bradbury. And gee, he's getting through everyone there. It was a beautiful run, but in the end, couldn't create the chance. And over on that far side, that game against Western, as we were talking, Scott Pettit missed that one. Cale Bradbury down in the corner with Hayden Bryce. Corner kick to Broadmeadow.
It's something for us to find out post-game, I guess. Where is...
better write that down.
Scott Pettit. Obviously, he's a key player for Broadmeadow. He gets a lot of assists for them.
Well, Fox Sports in the FFA Cup game, I heard some commentary from Mike Cockrell. Him and Andy Harper calling Scott Pettit Broadmeadow's best player. I don't like to call someone the best player in a team. I just... everyone can have their day. It's a ball back post. And now John Griffiths with the shot. Fogarty went to ground, but they cleared it away nicely, Edgeworth. I think there can be a very influential player in every side, but I think Peter Haynes is up. I couldn't pick a best player in Broadmeadow. Cale Bradbury's been awesome this year. Fajkovic. So is Peter Haynes as well. Ben Higgins.
I was going to say, then we always go on about Ben Higgins and even Josh Piddington back there, so... But this half, Magic are really piling on the pressure, aren't they?
Their fans are really getting into it. Here's a ball across. Cale Bradbury, not the best person to find in the air, especially with Aiden Bryce marking him, but he went very close to it. And Brent Hamill trying to put one over the top for Olsema, but it comes back now for Hamill. Matt Hoole getting across. Still with Hamill. Evades Hoole. He's got Olsema in the middle. Steps back onto his right. Plays it to Taylor. Still with Brody Taylor, goes to Holes. Still Holes getting in there. He's bumped off by Griffiths. It sits up. Olsema shoots and scores. And Edgeworth have the lead. Referee's given the goal. And the away side, the minor premiers, go ahead 2-1 at Magic Park. Really just came out of nowhere there for Edgeworth. Just sat up over on the right after Dylan Holtz was bumped into the ground. Edgeworth fans wanted the penalty, but they got something a whole lot better than a penalty, and it's a lead, and it's another away goal here at Magic Park this afternoon. Peter Haynes finds Cal Lewis.
Yeah, it was really against the run of play, that goal, wasn't it? Magic have really dominated the first 12 minutes of this second half.
Down to the line, cuts it back, and they do well there. Back to you, Blake.
Yeah, I was just saying Magic have really dominated the first 12 minutes of this second half, but then it goes down the other end, and it was a bit of a scrap on the edge of the 18, wasn't it? It just fell to Olsema, but he's done well. A good finish into the bottom left-hand corner.
So really just came out of absolutely nowhere. There's Hoole playing it again. Walker does well. Josh Evans stepping and finding a lovely ball to Brent Hamill. Gee, that was a great ball from Evans, getting themselves out of danger. Keanu Moore Finlayson comes in. And Keanu Moore comes to the back of Finlayson now. So both giving each other a little bit of their own medicine. And Dylan Holtz now down the right-hand side. Probably good decision from the referee just to let it go there. Holtz to the middle. Brent Hamill, no one around him. Brent Hamill, he gets the ball over with a volley. What a goal from Brent Hamill. Scores his second today. And that is a special strike from Edgeworth's number 7. And they are running away with it here. The last 2 minutes, Edgeworth have turned the screws and they lead 3-1 now, Blake.
I was just about to say it'll be very interesting to see if Edgeworth can create any momentum from that goal, and I didn't even get a chance. 2 minutes later, 1.5 minutes later, they've banged another one, and that was an absolutely brilliant goal from Dylan Holes. He was very proud of himself with a little flick over, and he was getting held back there, but to drive that bottom right into the left foot, that was, very, very good play.
Is Callan Lewis and Brodie Taylor, and Brodie Taylor wins the ball there, but that is his 7th goal this year. Brent Hamill, he scored 5 going into this game. He scored 7 goals last year, and he's really come into his own the last few weeks. Ever since that FFA Cup match, he's been outstanding. This one going over the byline. And we've got a change, and I thought it would be Rob Virgili, but it's not. It's Justin Tannock. Rob Virgili would be making a change, but it isn't. It was Damien Zane. So Tannock comes onto the ground and Brodie Taylor goes off. And they've got the assistant referees have got the change board, the substitution board today, which I haven't seen this year at all. I don't think they usually use it in the NPL. Not that I've seen. Is that they don't normally use the substitution board, do they?
I think they do in finals, not
only in
not during the normal season. One thing you touched on earlier in the game is the away goals, and now Edgeworth have 3, don't they? So
yeah, they are mounting for Edgeworth. Well, there was a handball there from Aaron McLaughlin right in front of us, and Edgeworth under a little bit of pressure here. But I'm just going to say I don't really think Magic deserves to be down 3-1 after the performance today.
No, not at all. Especially after the way they've come out in the second half. You could say before those 2 goals went in that they'd probably deserve to be up. But it's just the way the game goes, isn't it? And now they have to work hard to get a couple more.
Here he is, Peter Haynes, on his right, swinging it towards the back post. Josh Piddington got there. Fogarty slipped with his back foot. He was probably thinking, not again, and dived on the loose ball. Matt Hoole had to walk up, and now it's played wide to Peter Haynes. Peter Haynes trying to cut inside, wins the corner for Broadmeadow.
Yeah, some great vision there by Dino Fadjovic. That little no-look flick behind. He knew where Haynes was, and it was a good run by Peter Haynes. So they won themselves a corner here, Magic, and we got Higgins and Piddington up as usual.
It's brought in low, Josh Evans. Great interception. Gee, I tell you what, he's one of the most underrated players in the competition, Josh Evans. Just the last few minutes for Edgeworth. It was a ball that probably created the goal in the end. Didn't create the goal as such, but created the opportunity to get out of their own defensive end. He found a ball for Keanu Moore unmarked over here on this near side on the left, and it just allowed them time and space to get out of their own defensive end. As here's a ball over the top looking for Peter Haynes. He's doing a lot of the running in the last few moments, and he can't reel that one in. Fogarty wanting the throw to be early. It wasn't so, and now a chance for Broadmeadow with Peter Haynes squaring it up towards Fadjovic. Dylan Holtz to Tannock. Him and Ben Higgins come together, and now Piddington a ball over the top, and it's just going to be a goal kick. So what do Magic do from here, Blake?
I don't know. They need to score some goals, don't they? I think the high crosses coming in from the left and the right maybe need to be cut out. I think they need to build up a little bit more, and then get some passes going centrally, because I think with Aiden Bryson and Josh Evans now set there as the centre backs, the crosses that come in high, they deal with really well. Both very tall and can will easily beat Cal Bradbury in the air. So I think Magic need to keep the ball on the ground and build up quickly in transition to catch Edgeworth off their feet. That's the way I think will be best for them to get to the goal. As well, Peter Haynes' through balls in behind to Bradbury, I think, are going to become crucial.
Well, they've caused Edgeworth all the problems in the first half as well. They were the ones causing the issues, and early on in the second half. So I think the hardest thing for Broadmeadow is they're just got to think they're not out of this game. Edgeworth just turned up the heat the last probably 2 or 3 minutes in a 2 or 3 minute period, and put a couple in, and Magic for them, unable to probably have the luck in the end. A couple of offside calls going against them, Cale Bradbury, whether they were offside or not. They were 50-50 and could have gone either way.
Yeah, they need to think they're not playing. I think one thing that can motivate them is they're not playing to win. We'll go actually.
Brent Hamill down the right-hand side. Can he cut it back across? Tannock. Oh, it just went behind Keanu Moore, but guess who's down there? It's Brenton Olsmer on the ball. So Edgeworth applying more pressure to the Magic defence. Trying to play it back to Holtz, Justin Tannock. Finlayson finds Peter Haynes. Stabs it over the top. His referee said there's no advantage.
Yeah, as I was saying, obviously both teams want to win, but they're not playing to win this game. They need to win over 2 legs. So what they'll want to do is at least get it back to 3, or you don't want to go into next week needing 2 goals because 1 won't be good enough with away goal rules. So they really need to finish this game. If not ahead, they want to finish level.
Matt Hoole stabbing it across the face. Fogarty calling, and was well done in the end from Edgeworth's number 1. Back after that injury back in round 11 in the match here against Broadmeadow. Down that end he's currently at now, Jim Fogarty. Brent Hamill now across the ground. Playing the ball to Olsmer. The flag stays down. Olsmer comes to Archbold, and Archbold wins that little battle. Probably should have done better there, Brenton Olsmer. You always think when it's a one-on-one situation, the attacker's got to score. And now Broadmeadow Magic. It's Luke Virgili down the left-hand side. And the pass from Cale Bradbury didn't find him. Edgeworth now away on that far side. Very open game, though. Ball over the top, and Nathan Archbold to run out. And tell you what, if that went in, you'd have to think it would have put Magic in all sorts of problems going into next week, going down by 3 goals as Callan Lewis comes down this near side of the ground. Back to Hoole. Played in the Australian futsal team, did Matt Hoole earlier in the year. Scored a goal as well. Now Justin Tannock sees 2 Magic players run into each other. Now ball over the top for Brent Hamill. And offside called by the assistant referee on the far side of the ground. And still the scoreline, 3-1 in favour of Edgeworth, the away side here today. And if this scoreline does get any worse and tomorrow's game is quite close, we might get put on the other game next week, Blake. So it'll be interesting to watch what happens over in the other game.
Even if it doesn't get worse, if the score stays the same, Magic go into next week needing 3 goals, at least. Because a 2-0 win wouldn't be enough with the away goal rule.
Yep, you're exactly right. So
3-0 would get them through, and 3-1 would force it into extra time. At what the score is at this stage.
I think they can take a fair amount of confidence. I know it's hard to say down 3-1. They can take a fair amount of confidence out of today. Ball back post goes over the goal line, and it will be a goal kick for Jim Fogarty.
Going to see Broadmeadow's first substitution of the game. Number 16, Cale Lewis, is being replaced by number 11, Reece Tippett. It's an attacking move by Virgilia and Naumov. Dino Fajovic will come onto the right where Cale Lewis was playing, and Tippett will go up front with Cale Bradbury.
So an attacking move for Broadmeadow. Cal Lewis going off. He's had a good game. He had a good game today, Cal Lewis. So just over halfway through the second half here at Magic Park this afternoon. Edgeworth and Broadmeadow, sun back out. And the first place side, the minor premierships, the minor premiership, the Eagles leading 3-1. Do you have any preferences for the grand final this year, Blake, on who plays? You know, I'm a big fan of, I always like to see the side that's finished first on the ladder go up against the side that finished second, but, it doesn't always finish like that.
I really enjoy watching all four sides, and especially Edgeworth and Lambton, but my preference would be a Magic and Olympic grand final. Maybe not on form this year, but generally, I don't think you can get a bigger grand final than Magic versus Hamilton. And with both missing out on the finals altogether last year, I think it would be pretty big for both sides going into a rival match like that in the grand final. It would show just how far they've both come this year after pretty poor seasons in 2014. And I think it'd create the best atmosphere as well. Nothing against the Jaffers and Edgeworth fans. They're obviously great sets of fans. They've cheered their teams onto first and second respectively. I think it'd be unlikely for the third and fourth team to be in the grand final. But
it would be different. It would be different seeing third and Isabel through. Keanu Moore over on the right. You keep it in. It's going to go over for a goal kick. Yeah, well, what was the crowd like last year? It was Jack McLaughlin over Lambton and Weston. What was the crowd like out at Edgeworth for that one? How many? What
I remember
were the numbers like?
It was a huge crowd. I'm pretty sure it was down on previous years, but I know it was a very big crowd. My best memory of that was the Western fans over in the corner. Here we go. It was Reece Tippett's away. No, yeah, it was a good day at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Edgeworth did an extremely good job with that grand final, and it was a great game to watch as well.
Fogarty and Cal Bradbury coming down. Well, Magic fans go up again, and it's a penalty. He was waiting a while, Rod Allen, before deciding to give it. And he's given it, and Magic may have a lifeline back into this game and back into this leg of matches.
Yeah, we don't have the best view of the near sideline here, but I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that the assistant linesman has given that. The referee didn't blow it straight away, and I reckon he would have maybe got some information from his linesman.
Well, here is Peter Haynes looking for his 12th goal of the year. He smashes it into the back of the net. And Broadmeadow pull one back. It's not over yet. Less than 20 to go. And it is 3-2. Edgeworth with the lead over Broadmeadow. But don't think that that's a reflection of the game this afternoon. It's been pretty even. If not, Broadmeadow may just have it in a split points decision, I think, Blake, this game this afternoon.
It's been amazing to watch, hasn't it? I know we've had a few shockers on Bar TV throughout the season.
We've had some woeful games.
Going back to Weston and Maitland takes the cake, I think.
Yes, I'm gonna
at Cook Square Park. But yeah, this has been an absolutely amazing game, and that's exactly what you expect from in a match like this. Magic I know it was only after 6 rounds, but that's a third of the season. They were leading and they were undefeated. And they went on a bit of a poor run of form, but then they showed what they're made of in the last 3 rounds, or as you said, winning 5 of their last 7.
Well,
so this was always going to be a big game.
Well, here's Brent Hamill down the line. Yeah, both sides are. Oh, it's going to be such an interesting final 20 here, and an interesting leg next week. I really would like to cover this one next week in terms of continuity for viewers, seeing this one and then seeing it next week. So we'll find out what happens and get back to you. We'd like to cover both, but we're going to find out off Northern if that is possible. Hopefully we can.
I wasn't here at the start of the game, obviously. Are we covering the game tomorrow?
Yes, the Women's Premier League we are covering tomorrow, so not the NPL semi-final, just to let the viewers know. So unfortunately just the one. That was the decision from Northern, so unable to do that other game. But I think the most important game is the second leg, free kick going Edgeworth's way. The most important game's the second leg, so hopefully, because we've covered the 2 games this week, we're able to cover 2 next week, but we will find that out for you. So they'll have a discussion this week, Bar TV and Northern, and we'll find out. We'll put it on our Facebook page on Bar TV Sports on Facebook, so if you check that out, as Bray Smith goes down the right, cuts it back, Keanu Moore on the volley, Archbold with a great save. Well, if he had hit that sweetly into one of the top corners. Keanu Moore may have grabbed one of the goals of the year. We saw Bren Hamill hit a sweet volley to get Edgeworth a 3-1 lead. Gee, what a game we've had. As we said a few moments ago, Blake, gee, this is a cracker. We were talking about some bludgers of games we've had this year. That Maitland-Western one, as you said, back in round 5, taking the cake. I'd have to agree with you, but those games make these ones so much more worthwhile. As Reece Tippett plays it to Finlayson. Can he run it down? It's running quickly towards the corner. Gee, that's good from Finlayson. Knocks it over the sideline to make sure it wasn't a goal kick.
Yeah, as you said before, what was my pick for the grand final? I said Magic and an Olympic. I think one of the other poor games that we saw this year was Magic versus Olympic at Darling Street. That 2-0 win for Hamilton. They were both pretty shaky goals, as we've already mentioned today. But Magic in an absolute classic here at Magic Park against Edgeworth.
Well, I must say, in terms of, I'll have to come up with the side that, when I get, as we got the free kick going Edgeworth's way, a little bit of niggle out there. The side that when I get the sheet telling me which match we're doing, you always know how that side plays and what style, and some games you look forward to, others you think, well, we'll see what happens. And definitely this year, Broadmeadow matches, Edgeworth matches have been two that have been very entertaining. Always good to watch when these two sides come up against each other.
Yeah, even though they lost, I think one of the best games that we did was Magic and Western here, when Jake Milstead scored that last-minute goal to complete a pretty good comeback from Western, and they got the win over Magic.
Yes, that was a great game. Western have been involved in some crackers this year. That 4-3 match against Lambton as well. Which probably that dropping of 3 points probably gave Broadmeadow the chance to get into the finals. And it's going to be Jaden Barber who comes on, and it is, I think he said Fadjo, so I'm going to say Dino Fadjovic. He's coming to the sideline, and Lockie Pasquale's coming on for Brenton Olzheimer as well. Piddington with the header away. Bray Smith now. Dylan Holtz with some space in front of him. He plays it wide to Keanu Moore. Gee, Magic's defence. We saw it last time when they conceded against Edgeworth. Here's Cale Bradbury down the left. I'll come back to that thought. Still Cale Bradbury. Can he hit the shot? We're near post. It's off the post and in. And Magic have levelled it. Well, I wasn't sure if it went in. It was very hard to tell, actually. It hit the post inside. I didn't know if it went behind the goals. And here's the chant of Magic. And that was Magic from Cale Bradbury. Pardon the pun. And Edgeworth. And that is... Edgeworth will be disappointed. But that's fair enough, I think, Blake. It is fair enough that it's 3-3 because Magic have given as good as they've got this afternoon. And it's definitely a fair reflection of today's performance.
Yeah, it's a good run and a great strike by Cale Bradbury, but you can't look past Matt Hull's effort in that goal. That through ball that looked like Keanu Moore was going to be away and behind there down the other end, and he could have made it easily 4-2. Matt Hull with some great vision to cut it out, which he did, and then he played an absolutely pearler of a through ball for Cale Bradbury to run onto. So all the credit goes to Cale Bradbury, but I think a lot there is due for Matt Hull.
Now back for Ben Higgins. Yeah, the shot went near post, and I wasn't sure if it went behind or it went in the goals. It was just a weird angle from up here, so it was my delayed reaction. But they had all the luck against them in the first half. Broadmeadow with some chances in terms of offside and that sort of thing, and they got a little bit of luck there off the post with Jim Fogarty. So it's it all evens itself out in the end. So Justin Tannock now playing a lovely ball to Keanu Moore. Piddington comes out of nowhere, and he's going to grab a card, Keanu Moore. It's yellow. Well, this is going to be a dramatic final 12 minutes here, Blake. I am looking forward to this. This is going to be the best 12 minutes on Bar TV this year, I think. Peter Haynes about to stand over it. How many pages have you gone through on your notebook?
Yeah, I'm up to the 4th. It's going to be hard. I have to write a 500-word review on the game, and it's going to be very hard to put all these chances that have happened into 500 words. It's been an amazing game. Let's hope there's more to come.
Well, here is Peter Haynes. Chips towards the back post. Magic fans are loving this today. Rod Allen points to the corner. But there's still got to be some twists and turns to come this afternoon. But Edgeworth have grabbed those 3 away goals. Peter Haynes swinging it in, bending it a lot there. Piddington heading it now to Reece Tippett, who spun and into an Edgeworth defender. Wasn't quite sure who it was, and it's going to be another corner. I think the one disadvantage is Peter Haynes takes the corners on both sides. If they've had a left footer, Broadmeadow would be a little bit better for them. Like Aaron McLaughlin from Edgeworth, he swung one in, I should say, last week into Carl Thornton that went in. And it's gone over. It has. It's gone over the byline before and then came back in. So it's a goal kick.
Bit of an anti-climax there. The crowd was so loud in the last minute and a half after that goal, and then Magic were piling on some pressure there. There was a call for a penalty. There was a lot of cheering going on from down below us, and then that one just goes out for a goal kick. So back to reality now for both sides. It's 3-3. There's 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go, so both will be extremely desperate to get an advantage going into next week.
Once again, we're seeing this condensed nature of both sides' defence. Matt Hill with plenty of space down that right. Gets the wedge under that one. Josh Evans. We've already had one almost clean us up in the commentary box before you arrived, Blake. We had one, I had to punch it away from the commentary box. Matt Hill almost landed one up here. Josh Evans with a header, but it only goes to Finlayson. Just seem to be winning all the 50-50 balls at the moment, Magic. Edgeworth have just got to try and weather this storm. What were we saying about home ground advantage, Blake? Magic fans have all come out and started the cheering. Edgeworth fans on the far side had it very nicely up until a few moments ago. Matt Hill chipping one forward. Reece Tippett's there, holds it up nicely. He's got Jaden Barber back post, but he was a fair way away. It was Jaden Barber, and now Dylan Holtz. Some space ahead of him.
That's a brilliant run there from Jaden Barber to cover about 25 metres and get back and force Holtz to go backwards instead of launching a counter-attack. You asked me what I thought, how Magic could get back into it, and I said through balls in behind and keeping the ball on the ground. And that's where both of their goals have come from. The through ball in behind to Cal Bradbury, which he ran onto and won a penalty, and then a brilliant through ball over the top from Matt Hill to Cal Bradbury to run onto. So
yeah, penalty each this afternoon. Peter Haynes putting one away. Reece Tippett, free kick for offside here for Ed going Edgeworth's way. Reece Tippett there. And a reminder to all our viewers, tomorrow the WPL Grand Final is here from 3 p.m. live. It's Merriweather up against Valentine. It should be a cracker. Valentine have got all their stars back, and Merriweather have, they won the minor premiership. No WPL side that won the minor premiership has won the major premiership, so they've got to overcome a little curse there of Merriweather, which spoke to their captain, Laurie Depchinski, and also spoke to Valentine captain Cecilia Love as well, so check those out on Bar TV YouTube channel.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I see you did an interview with Cassidy Davis as well during the week. She was part of the Lake Macquarie side that absolutely blitzed the comp. I think it was 2 years ago, and they got into the grand final, and they were part of that hoodoo that I think they kicked it off. They lost the grand final after doing so well.
They did. They lost to Adamstown, I'm pretty sure. 4-3 it was. They blazed out to an early lead, 3-1 or something, and Adamstown pulled them back, much like Western and Broadmeadow, and much like today, as we've seen. Broadmeadow have done what Western did to them and fought back against Edgeworth. Can they claim the fourth? But that's the important thing.
Another big day as well. Tomorrow takes place at Jack McLaughlin over with the NPL youth grade. All 4 NPL youth games their grand finals are on tomorrow. First game's at 9 o'clock, which is the under 13s, and the under 17s is the last game of the day, which takes place at 3 p.m.
And that was the other thing I was going to speak to you about before Magic put on their little blitz, the man of the match. I was thinking, as Luke Vigili goes down the left, we'll see what this raid can achieve for Broadmeadow. Nothing at all.
There has been a lot of good plays today from both sides. Performance-wise, I can't really pick one, but for having an influence in this game, at the moment, I say Cale Bradbury. He scored the first one, even though it was a tap-in from a Matt Hill shot that was spilled by Fogarty. Then you got Cale Bradbury winning the penalty for the second goal, and then he scored the third one, didn't he? So he's bagged a double and he's won a penalty. Also close behind him, I guess, Matt Hill set up both of Cale Bradbury's goals.
I was going to say for Edgeworth, if Edgeworth kept their lead, I was probably thinking we were going to lean towards Brent Hamill. I thought with that goal he scored, Keanu Moore's been very good today as well. Justin Tannock, well, not his greatest effort there, getting right under that one, and it will be a goal kick for Nathan Archbold.
Yeah, Brent Hamill has been extremely good today. He's been very sharp as usual, but Olsmer as well is one player from Edgeworth who I would.
Josh Evans as well has been outstanding.
Yeah, despite conceding 3 for the Eagles, Josh Evans has been extremely strong as usual. We see him there lose the ball but win the throw-in.
Yeah, it's been such an even game. It's just so hard to pick. 5 minutes to go in the game this afternoon in the first leg of this one. The other good thing about the Broadmeadow comeback is it's most likely we'll probably get this game next week, Blake. So we'll get to witness round 2. Or round 4 this season. Nathan Archbold, nice take there.
That'd be great for me because I'm in Sydney on Friday night and all of Saturday. So if we get the Saturday game, I definitely won't be available.
We'll have to talk Northern into giving us the Sunday game as well. So if it is Saturday, if Chris Turner's watching, he's probably watching somewhere. I hope you're free next Saturday, Chris, as Dylan Holtz goes down the right side. Still Dylan Holtz with the shot and goes into the side netting.
Yeah, a bit disappointing. I missed the game between Lambton and Hamilton. I missed my preliminary final for my own comp. But
what are you going down for?
I'm taking Mum to Sydney for her 50th birthday.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, good luck with it. Good luck next week. And yes, hopefully we get that Lambton Hamilton game as Peter Haynes makes way for Ko Sang Hin.
He's another player for Magic who's put in a really good performance today. We've seen him score that penalty with ease. A lot of great through balls in behind, and it's good to see him back in, moving back into the midfield. He really controls it there for Broadmeadow. Obviously, he's been a striker most of his career. He's doing a great job, though, in the heart of the midfield for Broadmeadow.
Here's Keanu Moore again with some space. I think he sort of tripped over the ball there, did Keanu Moore. Brent Hamill now to Dylan Holtz over on that far side. Stabbing it across. Good header away from Ben Higgins. Reece Tippett. Back to Piddington. Aiden Bryce now on the ball. Playing it to Reece Tippett. And Cale Bradbury. Not a great ball from Bryce. And Evans puts it over the sideline. Gets back well there to Josh Evans. Into the final 3 minutes. Jaden Barber getting across to take the throw. Reece Tippett on the ball now. Playing it back to Griffiths. Ko Sang Hin.
I don't know if he's still here, but at halftime the NBN cameraman up here next to us, he left, didn't he? Took off, so pretty disappointing.
He did.
For him, he's missed 4 second half goals. Some of them have been absolute crackers.
I didn't even notice. But you'll have to check it out on the news. You'll see 2 goals, but otherwise you'll have to catch them all on Bar TV. It's the only way you'll see them. Ko Sang Hin. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that NBN would be heading to this afternoon, and I can't think of it. There's a rugby game that Bar TV are doing this afternoon. There's no league this weekend, so I'm not quite sure why they would head off. But anyway, that's why you should watch on Bar TV. Get all the live action. It's great for us to be doing the NPL this year. Matt Hoole from right in front of us goes across the ground. Luke Walker just gets a feather, I think, from his head. Feather on the ball, so Aiden Bryce keeps it in and gets it on the left foot. Tell he's not a left footer there, Aiden Bryce, getting right under that one. Luke Vigili. And now Piddington. Spun away from him. McLaughlin. Hoole. Bouncing back. Josh Evans. Tippett. A lot of urgency being urged from the fans and the coaches down the sideline. Tannock. Now Keanu Moore. Pasquale. Tannock. He's got Matt Hoole grabbing at his back of his shirt. And yeah, probably fair enough there, the free kick given by Rod Allen. So Cale Bradbury it is. That's the man we're going with at the moment, Blake. Unless we see any surprises in the last minute. Oh, here he is again, Cale Bradbury after it. He's going to have to hope it spins a little bit quicker. Jim Fogarty, gee, got down there, putting the pressure on Fogarty was Cale Bradbury. That one off Barber and over the sideline. So into the final 30 seconds of the game here. The first leg. If the second leg's just as good, we're going to be in for a cracking showdown. So those goals for Magic, Cale Bradbury. As Pasquale and Ben Higgins come to shoulder down there. Pasquale and Higgins. Thought we were playing game of league for a minute then. And Higgins needing to take it back there. So Cale Bradbury with that first goal for Broadmeadow. Peter Haynes with the penalty. And the third goal, Cale Bradbury off the post. And for Edgeworth, it was Brent Hamill with the penalty. And then Brenton Olsemer over on the right, slotting it through pretty much out of nowhere. And then Brent Hamill with a goal that you should watch again. It was the goal of the game this afternoon. Well, that's what I got to ask, Blake. Which was the goal of the game today? Was it Brent Hamill's volley or was it Cale Bradbury's ball over the top? As Cale Bradbury now on the ball for Magic here. He plays it across. It was behind Reece Tippett. Groans from the Magic fans. And now Jaden Barber and Jim Fogarty on that far side come together.
Yeah, for me, you can't look past the volley. That was a brilliant little flick over the defender, and to drive it with his left foot, bottom right, it was absolute pearler of a goal.
Well, there's so many talking points out of this game, and you'll get to see the coaches' interviews at the back end of this one on Bar TV. It's on the YouTube channel. So just get on there, Bar TV Sports on YouTube, and you catch all those post-match interviews. Cale Bradbury again, it's sitting up for him. Ko Sang-hin. And now Cale Bradbury again. Magic fans baying for the free kick, but Bradbury gets up again. Goes after it. Dylan Hulse. Matt Hoole, and the free kick goes Edgeworth's way. Well, the Magic fans, I haven't heard them this loud all season. This is quite incredible.
I think he definitely got the ball there. I think they're a bit justified in being a little bit upset with that one.
Aaron McLaughlin going over the top towards Justin Tannock. Piddington. John Griffiths now. Great atmosphere this afternoon. Underneath us here, above the Magic faithful here at Magic Park. We'll be we'll be up above the Edgeworth faithful if we're at Jack McLaughlin next Saturday as well. Nathan Archbold getting under that one. Aiden Bryce heading it back towards Fogarty. They've done well, I think, Edgeworth, to hold Magic out. They've had so much momentum, and that could come back to help them next week.
Yeah, Magic will obviously be extremely happy with the 3-3 draw if it ends this way after being 3-1 down. But I think at the end of the game, maybe even tomorrow after the emotions settle, I think Edgeworth will be the happiest to take a 3-3 draw into next week.
Yeah, well, I think Magic, in a sense, we've said they'll probably be the most happy. That is full time. And a 3-3 draw here at Magic Park. I'll run down, grab Cale Bradbury. But Blake, if you want to wrap it up for us, and I'll go down there.
Yeah, so I got here in about the 15th minute, and what I saw was a 17th minute header from Josh Piddington, which hit the crossbar. In the 27th minute, Brenton Olsema scored. The 36th minute, Cal Bradbury scored, and then Dylan Holes had the shot on the 45th minute, which could have put Edgeworth ahead into half-time, but Archibald saved well. Into the second half, it was 2 goals in 2 minutes for Edgeworth. Olsema put one into the bottom left, and in the first half it was Hamill that scored that penalty, not Olsema, and then Dylan Holes scored that goal in the 59th minute. In the 71st minute, Peter Haynes scored a penalty, which Cal Bradbury won, and then in the 77th minute, Matt Hill with that brilliant through ball, which Cal Bradbury put in off the post to make it 3-3. That's the way it finished. It was a brilliant game here today. We've got Ben down on the field with the men of the match, Cal Bradbury, in just a moment.
I'm down here with our Dustwind House man of the match today, Cal Bradbury from Broadmeadow Magic, and outstanding performance today, 2 goals. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was a good game. Tough conditions. It was a bit hot than what we usually playing with, but yeah, first one sort of just popped out to me. I was a bit lucky, but yeah, I guess I took my second one well, and we're a group now, and look forward to next week.
Now, we're talking in the first half, very unlucky, some 50-50 offside calls going against you. Then that goal off the post, how good was it to get a bit of luck back in the second half?
Yeah, it was good. Well, that's the thing with me. I love playing on the defender's shoulders, so sometimes I might be that yard offside, sometimes not. But yeah, it was good to get the goal and back to 3-3. I thought it was a really improving performance, especially in that second half. So yeah, as I said, we just have to regroup now and look forward to next week.
Now, you're outstanding in the regular season, getting the golden boot for the whole competition. How does it feel to keep that going into the finals?
Yeah, it's good. Probably missed more than I scored this year, but no, it was good to get the golden boot. So scored a few more than last year. It helps the players like Hainsey and Fadge and that around me as well, pushed me. So yeah, no, it was good, and it's great to be back in Magic.
Now, last question, what do you got to do next week to get the job done over Edgeworth and make it into the grand final for your second year in a row?
Yeah, look, there's nothing better than playing the grand final, so we'll definitely be giving out all next week. We had tactics today. I think they worked in the second half, so we'll look to play the same as next week, I'd say.
Good luck next week. We'll see you then, and until then, we'll catch you later.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, yeah. All right, so that wraps it up here from Magic Park today. We've got the WPL Grand Final live on Bar TV tomorrow from 3 p.m, so tune in at 3 p.m. tomorrow, and it's going to be a cracker. It's Merriweather up against Valentine. So until then, here on Bar TV this afternoon, it was Edgeworth and Magic all locked up at 3-3 in the first leg of the semi-final. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.